Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, with another epic story in the log of precious metal crimes. This is about a gold heist of 10 gold bars that were stolen, worth $5 million. There's a reward that's being offered for the capture of a man that was charged in the theft. This comes to us from foxnews.com, and this is an article that talks about some gold bars that were stolen. And take a look at here. This file photo provided to the FBI shows a gold bar that was recovered in Miami from a heist in North Carolina on March 1st, 2015. Look at the name. It's RMC, Republic Metals. Federal prosecutors have formally charged the fugitive in that 2015 robbery of a tractor-trailer carrying almost $5 million in gold bars. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami announced on Thursday, February the 7th, 2019, that Pedro Santamaria has been indicted on robbery and gun charges. Authorities say he joined Adalberto Perez and Roberto Cabrera in the heist. The other two were sentenced to lengthy prison terms. Miami federal prosecutors have formally charged that fugitive in the 2015 highway robbery of 10 gold bars worth almost $5 million. U.S. attorneys in Miami and office in Miami announced Thursday that Pedro Santamaria, who is 56 years old, has been indicted on robbery and gun charges. The FBI is offering up to $10,000 for information leading to his arrest and conviction. How much gold can you buy for $10,000 these days? A couple ounces, maybe, you know. Santamaria, Adalberto Perez, and Roberto Cabrera caused noxious fumes to fill the cabin of the Transvalue Inc. truck that was transporting gold bars from Miami to Boston. Prosecutors said armed robbers removed and bound the Transvalue employees, transferred the gold bars to the vehicle, and fled. 9 of the 10 bars were melted down for jewelry. Perez and Cabrera were sentenced to long prison terms, and others pleaded guilty after helping investigators. But most of the cash value of the stolen gold, which weighed about 275 pounds, has never been recovered, and Santamaria's whereabouts remain a mystery. The prosecutor's statement doesn't say what prompted them to obtain an indictment now for Santamaria, an ex-convict who has been suspected in the heist since 2015. The Miami Herald reports that Santamaria was given up by one of his accomplices and a prison acquaintance who tried to fence one of his 10 gold bars in Miami. The shipment of gold, which was refined by Republic Metals, was insured. It was being transferred from South Florida to another major gold company, Metalor, in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. According to court records, the robbers placed a GPS device under the tractor-trailer to track the shipment. They also placed pepper spray in the truck and remotely activated it so the 2 courier guards would get sick and have to pull over on Interstate 95 in North Carolina. You know, that's pretty well thought out and clever robbery for sure. At that point, 3 armed robbers in a white minivan confronted them, yelling "Policia!" Records show that the guards got out of the truck without their weapons. They were tied up and led into the woods. The men took the buckets containing the gold bars along with 40 silver-stamped coins and divided up the loot. Santamaria reached out to a man he had spent time with in prison to fence one of the gold bars. And I wonder what that means by fencing one of the gold bars. According to an FBI affidavit filed with Santamaria's criminal complaint, that man, Miguel Bover, approached a Miami pawnshop broker and asked him to sell the bar to a precious metals refinery. The plan backfired when an off-duty police officer working at the refinery grew suspicious and contacted the FBI, which confiscated the bar. Bover was arrested in 2015 and eventually cut a deal and was sentenced to prison. He provided insider information on Santamaria and the others. The Herald reports that jeweler Yanan Mirabal also who received a probationary sentence for initially lying to the FBI, estimated he made about $1.2 million by melting down and selling off the other 9 bars. Perez and Cabrera were arrested in 2016. Agents found more than $600,000 in cash, but no gold. Cabrera was sentenced to nearly 20 years, and Perez received more than 11 years. And that's just it. You know, the gold not been recovered. It's been melted down, sold off in jewelry. And really impossible to trace gold when you do things like that. One gold bar they decided to fence, and I guess that fencing means that they kept it intact and decided to sell it off as it was. That's what got them in trouble. That's what got them arrested. And the other ones, they went away. Of course, people that do steal, they're typically they're not really all that bright when it comes to the more commonsensical type of things. The heist itself was kind of brilliant when you think about it. Although I wonder how they did break into the trunk in order to set up the pepper spray and how they remotely charge it or trigger it. But very interesting indeed story here, and how that will play out in the end. We'll see. Hopefully, they will be able to catch the criminal. But nonetheless, he's been able to remain elusive because there was not much really tracking him back to it with his other 9 gold bars melted down. And it kind of reminds me, by the way, of the previous stories that I've talked about people finding gold or stealing gold. And what do? They turn it in or whatever, or what have you. Or in other cases, they don't melt it down, or because once you do melt it down, it's untrackable. So that leads me to, precious metals and how they can be tracked with the blockchain or cryptocurrencies. That's only true if they're not melted down. But it also would also, given if there's a way to track them and keep them intact with some sort of code or what have you, or chip attached to it, or even inside of the gold, it makes, it gives a level of security that I think will give us a lot more comfort in that case. But obviously, black market gold, this might be the beginning of such type of a situation where gold may not be traded without some sort of tracking mechanism on it. And that's where technology can come into play in the blockchain or hash graph or whatever the technology may be to track the gold down the road, in order to make things like this much more risky and much less acceptable. There could literally become a time where people may not accept, at least in large amounts, any gold that doesn't have any kind of tracking mechanism inside of it, whether it be RFID with some sort of address in there, or some other format for these larger bars. But nonetheless, it is quite interesting and fascinating story here. Hopefully, they will recover all the money and find the criminal and the mastermind behind this operation. But I wonder if this particular bar here is the fence to gold. It's interesting. Look at that. I don't know what this other logo is. It's got something some assay laboratory there. Looks to be probably tied with the Republic Metals. Kind of looks like another version of their logo there. But it's 49's fine gold from 2015. And very interesting and fascinating indeed. So post your thoughts on this story. Another precious metal crime here. And what do you think about it? And I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and finally, subscribe.
Because gold is pure and it lasts forever.